Hi, I'm Somaya Sherbini. I am the co-founder and executive partner of RightFoot People Solutions, and I am also the co-founder and CEO of Opus Talent Analytics, and people analytics software. I really started my professional career in the corporate world. I decided to cross over and move into the entrepreneurial scene in 2017. And that was really my design. There was a lot of huge potential, and I still feel that there is still huge potential in the Middle East and Africa region. I could see it, and it was very clear evidence in my interactions with candidates. So, the talent landscape is very, very rich. There is huge opportunities for doing business. There is a huge appetite, and the growth potential in terms of the different pockets of regions within the Middle East and Africa region are humongous. If I talk about the Middle East specifically, I think we're very fortunate to have a very rich talent landscape. And given the fact that we do, there is a lot of eyes and attention on the talent landscape from neighboring countries and from neighboring regions, be they in Europe or the Asia Pacific regions. One of the important things for me as we started venturing on the entrepreneurship trajectory, be it with RightFoot or with Opus, we were really keen to provide solutions that have a very simple message, that provide more objectivity to how the talent stories are told. The companies still struggle to understand how they can measure and optimize money that is spent on things like their HR programs or on things like their skill building and capacity building capabilities. And there is always a question around, did we do it in the right way? Have we channeled the right efforts toward the right objectives? It is really going to continue to be a game-changing aspect for companies that adopt data sooner rather than later. The fact being, the workforce is becoming very, very different from what it used to be probably 3 to 5 years ago. The introduction of millennials and Gen Zers has provided a different perspective to what the expectation of employees are, what is important for them, what their sense of purpose is. Are we tackling things that make a difference to them? Are we engaging them in the right way? Are we providing flexibility that allows them to focus on the things that are important for them? So really, companies being able to adapt and pivot faster and in a more leaner way need those sources of data sooner rather than later, because the more they have that data, they're able to be ahead of the game. And that is what really influenced us to venture into the building the people analytics software. We studied this topic for about 3 years. So from 2019, we studied sentiment, we studied business leader ideas and feedback. We spoke to CHROs and we tested data that is available in mid-sized companies and enterprise businesses. And when I say mid-size and enterprise, I'm talking about anywhere companies that have 150 employees and above. And the common theme was that there was lack of predictability. There was so much effort and so much money that was being put in programs and in building capabilities. But then when a company wanted to grow and expand, outside of their geo or add a line of business, or they were thinking about their market share and their representation of what they were selling from a market share perspective, they were always left with questions, and the questions were all leading to, do we have the right people? Do the people have the right skills? And if they do have the right skills, how can we prepare them sooner rather than later so that we're ready to venture into the business landscape? And so for business leaders and for HR professionals, for CHRO leaders, I would say the world is all about data. And if you think about the landscape of technology right now, you do not need to procure huge systems that are end-to-end systems that take years for implementation, because that has changed. Companies and innovation are coming in almost daily now, and they're bringing in technologies that adapt and that plug in and that work with across systems faster and in a more leaner way. You want to make sure that you keep your eye out in the market for these things. And more importantly, you want to make sure that you're keeping an eye out for things that have the consumer, or the consumer of the technology, so it's the employee or the manager, in mind. Because the more the technology is adapted and more relevant to these audiences, the more they will use them, the more they will consume, and more importantly, if they consume, you get more refined data and more outputs. And so my final 2 cents would be, people analytics is very, very important. The journey of people analytics should not be delayed. Even if you think that you're a small company, starting early to gather, analyze, and really look deep into the pockets of what your data is telling you should start sooner rather than later. Thank you for your time.